Just because you have the approval of the world, that does not mean that you have the approval of God. Ask yourself, is it really worth being accepted by the world? Is that what you really want? Come on now, do you seriously care more about pleasing people over God who has done so much for you? In the book of James, we see a warning to people who have been spiritually unfaithful to God. James 4:4 says, "You adulterous people, don't you know that friendship with the world means enmity against God? Therefore, anyone who chooses to be a friend of the world becomes an enemy of God." Anything that goes against the will of God should not fascinate us. It doesn't matter what it is. There are many things that is considered acceptable today in society that goes against the will of God. And yet, some of us, we want to fit in so badly that we choose to abandon the biblical principles. Are you really that afraid of the opinions of others? I know you're not, just as long as it doesn't cost you anything. So what about when it costs us something? Are we willing to speak biblical truth in the lives of others even though we know it's controversial and it could potentially damage our own reputation? Or do we shy away just to keep the approval of others and go on to say that we are using wisdom? The source of that so-called wisdom does not come from God because we are prioritizing our own personal objectives over honoring God. Who's willing to rise up and take a stand for biblical truth and declare that Christ is the one true King? He is Lord over all. Hebrews 1:3 tells us that He's the radiance of God's glory, the exact reputation of His being, sustaining all things by His powerful word. Understand that Christ is worthy. Regardless of the situation, He is worthy to receive praise and honor. In Revelations 4:11, we see that the 24 elders around the throne will fall before the Lord and say, "Thou art worthy, O Lord, to receive glory and honor and power, for Thou hast created all things, and for Thy pleasure they are and were created." So if God is worthy to receive glory and honor, then surely He is worthy of us giving our lives to Him. So even if things aren't going your way and you are seeing disappointment after disappointment, God will still be worthy of receiving glory and honor and praise. And even if you lost everything, God will still be worthy of receiving glory and honor and praise. And even if there was never any salvation to begin with, and we was all going to be held accountable for every sin that we committed and condemned to hell at the end of our life, God would still be worthy of receiving praise and honor. Therefore, how much more excited should we be about being obedient to Him, since He came and walked among us and gave His life so that we can have a right relationship with Him? So we say with confidence, "Thou art worthy, O Lord, to receive all the glory, honor, and power in everything that we have." Is Christ not worthy enough for you? Seriously, what's holding you back for surrendering all to Him? And what can possibly grab your attention more than Him? I can guarantee you that you will never find anyone that is going to love you more than Him. Though He lived a sinless life, He took your place and suffered on the cross to pay for your sin debt, so that through faith in Him, you won't get the penalty that you deserve for your sins in hell. 2 Corinthians 5:21 says, "For our sake, He made Him to be sin who knew no sin, so that in Him we might become the righteousness of God." That verse is talking about justification. That is, those who are in Jesus Christ are no longer under condemnation for their sins, but rather they are in right legal standing before God. God has done more than enough for us than anyone else. Don't compromise your faith just to appease a bunch of people who probably don't even care about you. God has been too good for us to do something like that. Instead, go and stand firm on your faith and take a stand for Christ, the one who died for you.